Hello, 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 everyone. It is Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love showing art from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick art projects. Welcome to day 22. It is nice to see you guys. This has been going really well. Have you enjoyed the 21, so far 21, yes. The 31 days of Halloween. I have no paint involved today. The supply list, you can grab it. It is in the comments. I am showing you how amazing these rub-on transfers are from Essential Stencil. I don't know if they have these yet. They just released their Christmas ones. They're gorgeous. So stencil spot for 10% off. But we're going to use these Halloween ones because it's 31 days of Halloween. So you get 2 sheets in here. Actually, 3 sheets. I apologize. You get the smaller elements, the medium-sized elements, and the one big truck. I'm going to use that one for something, but not today. All right, so let me turn you guys around. And when we can get started, I have multiple surfaces here. I have this piece of wood. I have this already painted mason jar. I have unpainted glass that I'm recycling. I have a painted wine glass. And then this is part of this, okay? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my glass. The 2 glasses I'm going to do today is we're going to paint them first. So I'm going to give them a clean with just regular old rubbing alcohol from the drugstore. Isopropyl rubbing alcohol. You want to get off the dirt and the grime and the grease from our fingers, okay? And put that aside. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I have a sponge here. This is a painting sponge. It is from Plaid Crafts. You don't need to use a painting sponge. You can use any kind of sponge. I like how you don't see any brush strokes when you use a sponge. I mean, this is gorgeous in itself, and this is the project we did on Monday. It's just a different look. Brush strokes, yellow and orange, the leaves on this glass. But sometimes I like to just have no strokes and just coverage. So we do that with a brush. I'm going to put out a little bit of this orange enamel paint. I mean, we do that with a sponge. Sorry. So a little bit of orange and a little bit of white. Okay, I think I'll start with this little one. And I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to pounce my sponge into the paint. And I'm just going to come to my surface. I'm just doing the glass part. I'm going to try not to go up to the edge so much. This way I can hold on to it. I'm holding on to the lid. And it's as easy as that, just to pounce on. No stroke marks. And it's just a different look than you would get if you were using a brush. The same thing applies though when you're using this water-based enamel paint for your glassware. If you want to add a second coat, or I think I'm going to add a little white to this, you have to wait for it to dry. Okay? So I'm going to put that one aside. And I'm going to now pick up a little bit of white on my brush, on my sponge here. And now I'm just doing a different, I have some white, I have some orange, and I'm just pouncing in a little bit of a different color. You don't even have to paint these if you don't want. You can go directly to your rub-ons. They will work, your transfers. But I like the paint underneath, and I like the effect it makes. These transfers are so easy to use. They're gorgeous and vibrant in color. And I'm just base coating these first so these can dry, and hopefully we'll get to use these as well as the surfaces that I already have out. These transfers work on wood, metal, glass. This reminds me of a creamsicle. What do you think? And I can go all the way to the top, but I don't want to. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside as well. Let those 2 things dry. Move this out the way. And then we are going to get started. I guess I'll do this one first. So let me open these up. These are just so gorgeous. I'm going to open these. These are from Essential Stencil. Essential Stencil has these rub-ons. They have awesome Mylar reusable stencils as well. They have a wonderful selection of 5-foot and 4-foot tall stencils for porch leaders. And I love using them. They have great customer service. And I've been using them for a while now, many years actually. You've been following me. So here we go. Put that aside. Look how cute these Halloween gnomes are. We have the mushrooms. We have this one with the broom, the cauldron, the jack-o'-lantern. Then we have these larger ones. They're the same as these, but bigger, except for the house. Bigger bats, but these are the same. They're just on a larger scale. And then how cool would this be like on a huge, well, not these, you'd have to move these around, but this truck on a huge wood sign. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to make that. But not today, not today. So I wanna see, okay, this house is not gonna fit on there, so can't use that. Maybe I'll use, oh, this one might look cute down here. I think I'm gonna use this one on here. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna cut this guy out. This is another project I made. It's a wood panel. It has this really cool hook on it. And then this lantern, there's tea light in here. Right there. Battery operated tea light. I'm gonna take this out. I wanna glue it to the top of my lid. Oh, there they are. So they blink or they go solid. Oh, they're off. All right, where's some glue? It's not here, I can't do it. I'm going to, when I'm done, glue this up to here, to the top, so then I can just take the lid off and turn them off and on. But now I'm gonna put it in there. And then this hangs here, and you have that really cool mason jar hanging on here, but you can make it as shorter or longer if you want. It is up to you. But for now, we're going to place this guy on here. So I'm going to peel off the back. Okay, that's garbage. I'm going to carefully eyeball it. And I like that how the bottom is curved here and the pumpkin is curved, and that can nestle right in there. I'm going to line it up and press it down. Then I'm going to take the squeegee that it comes with or my popsicle stick. And the first thing I'm going to do is work from the inside out. I want to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. And then I'm going to get the stick and I'm going to start just going around. I don't think it's ready yet, but let's just see. Oh, look at that. It is. These transfers are awesome. It is already sticking. It is already coming up from the backing. I'm just doing a little bit at a time as I pull the backing up. You will see the clear is not so, see how the colors are here, but now it gets a little cloudy. As the transfer starts to move away from the top sheet gets a little cloudy because now the vibrant colors are not attached to it like they were. Okay, now it's garbage. And then I'm just going to use my finger, apply a little bit of pressure, and the heat and the pressure from your finger gets the transfer down into all the grooves. How simple and cute is that? Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to cut some of these bats. I'm going to cut them out at once, but I'm not going to use them all at once. Okay. First, I think I'm going to put the big one up here. Where's my tools? They're buried. Here we go. So Again, from the inside out, make sure there's no bubbles. And then I'm going to use my stick. And I can already see the cover sheet. Can you see it's changing paint color? Can you see how this is cloudy compared to that that's more vibrant and black? It's already lifting. Get my finger under there. And you want to peel it up slowly, just in case there's a piece stuck. You want to be able to go back and get it. So how cute is that? Again, you can use Stencil Spot. Promo code Stencil Spot for 20% off. I mean for 10% off. Sorry, oopsie. Put this one up there. Get out the bubbles. I'm not even going to have to use the stick on this one. The little one went right on there. And then we have this medium one. And I'm just randomly putting these on here. Okay. Again, make sure you have no bubbles. And there we go. Aren't these gorgeous, you guys? Look how pretty that is. Look how cool that came. I can put this back on here if I want to hold it. What I actually am going to do, I think it looks cute. Let me turn you guys around for 1 second. I think it looks cute like that, but I can shorten this up and put a knot in it and have it like that. So that is our first one. So cute. All right, let's move on. Okay, I have these 2 jars. This was painted with a sponge. This wine glass was painted with a brush. I think I need to use the smaller sheet with the smaller elements for this one. So let me get this out. And what shall we do? You know what? I like the mushrooms. I think I'm going to use the mushrooms on this jar. So there's one. You can make so many different projects with these. If you have been watching the 31 days at the beginning, I did a plastic charger from the Dollar Tree. Okay, I'm going to do the big one first. Right there. You have to be a little bit more careful on the glass. Well, on the glass that has bumps on it and a design on it. So I'm just going to put this down in the middle. And then I want it to go over and stick to the design on the glass. It takes a little bit more work than if you're doing on a flat surface, of course. That makes sense, right? These mason jars have the measurements and they have the design. This particular one has the berries on it. What are they, grapes? The grapes and the fruit on it. So you have to be careful. And you want your design, you're on a curved surface and you have these details of your jar. It's a little bit more tricky, but it can be done. And of course, this is even a bigger transfer. So it's even going to be a little bit harder as it wraps around the curve of the glass. Now I'm using the corner of my scraper. I could get out my stick. That would work too. But I can see my transfer being transferred. And you can see that my cover sheet is getting cloudy. And it is working. You just have to know when you're going to challenge yourself with a surface like this, it is going to be a challenge and it is not going to be perfect, and that is okay. If you wanted to, you could come back in with a little paint We can add some shading to it, whatever we want. There's a lot of nooks and crannies on this jar, but I'm going slow. A stump here. This is the mushroom stem. I'm going really slow so I can see if stuff didn't stick. I just applied that little piece down right there, and it worked. I'm just coming back. These are stuck onto the sheet. I'm just coming back, and I'm using my nail, and I'm unsticking them. And there we have the one mushroom. That's garbage. I know I cut 3. Oh, here it is. This one now I'm going to put here. I want to adhere the middle first and then go out to the sides. I'm going to start with this side and this groove here next to the measurements. And then I'm going to work my way across. Again, we have our grapes. I love how these transfers go on, and I love how pretty and vibrant they are. The Christmas ones are vintage and soft pinks and creams and golds, I think, and they're out now. I think they've just been released. So you can use Stencil Spot for 10% off of those at Essential Stencil, or grab yourself some stencils. They have really quality, reusable Mylar stencils. So I think, got a little bit of corner there. And there we go. So that is 2 on there. Isn't that just so cute? You can put lights in here too if you want. And then I'm going to put the third one. Actually, the third one is the same. I don't want that same one. I want a different one. So there are only the 2. Oh, that's a smaller one. All right, let me use this smaller one then. It's the same but different because it's smaller. I'm going to have to find a surface to put this haunted house on and the truck. I don't think the truck will be for 31 days of Halloween, but I will do it and share it with you guys. The smaller the transfer is, the easier it is to get in the nooks and crannies. And then there's not as many nooks and crannies because it's not covering such a big area of the mason jar to begin with. So we're going to run these lines. Okay, it's going to lift. Voila. All right, I'm going to use my finger again. The little heat from my finger is going to help adhere this transfer to our surface. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get some paint, a little dark paint. Put out a little bit of that. I'm going to grab my sponge. I'm going to go to a clean part of my sponge. I'm going to get some of this green on here. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to pounce in around the bottom of my glass, my mason jar. And I'm just pouncing in the bottom and covering up the stems a little bit. Okay, easy as that. So I have my mushrooms on here, and then I just took a little bit of paint and pounced it in around the bottom of the glass just to set the mushrooms back a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to go to our wine glass. Now these wine glasses were meant to be upright. These were last week on one of the 31 days for candle holders, tchotchkes, knickknacks, whatever you have it. So that's why I'm going to be using these glasses upside down. Okay, so let's find another transfer we want to use on these glasses. I think I need one, since it's an orange with the orange pumpkin, I think I need one of these. I'm either going to use this purple guy or this green guy with the spider, or maybe this guy down here. He might be easier because he's smaller. I use this guy. So we're going to move this over so it'll keep my glass from rolling. And it doesn't really matter where I put this because the glass is round, and wherever I want to put it will just be fine. I'm going to peel off the back. Comes apart, easy peasy. I'm going to line him up at the bottom and get my center in place. Now I'm going to go out to one side. Okay, and then I'm going to go out to the other side. When you're working on a round surface, it is a little bit more difficult, but that is okay. And I'm just getting all the pieces down where I need them to be. Even if it starts lifting up and I have a little bit of the transfer left on the clear cover, I can push it down and go back to it and get it to stick and fill in where it was popping up from. Get his feet. So the glass and unflat surfaces have their challenges, but they work. And how cute is that? Again, I'm going to use my finger, the heat from my finger, just to make sure it's all smoothed out. All right. And I think I'm going to get either one or two bats, to add to this guy. Put this one here. And because now our bat is much smaller and there's not as much curve up here on this wine glass, it's much easier to work with the bat. It's going to come right up. Okay. And then maybe come over here. Cut out this little mushroom guy. This is one of those things like I could get out a bunch of miscellaneous craft supplies and just sit here and play. Reminds me of color forms. I'm gonna put this little mushroom down here by him. And again, it's small. We don't have to worry so much about the curve. And there we go. Oh. As long as you do it slowly, so any pieces that may not have come up are good. Okay, now let's see, is this dry? This is still a little tacky. Is this one dry? Nope. Let me get out my dryer. This is a heat gun. I don't want the paint to get too hot and bubble up. I just wanted to make sure that it's dry and it's not tacky anymore, or the paint will lift and the transfer won't stay. And I think that's good. All right. So what should we do on this guy? Maybe I will do the cauldron one. I have to cut it out to see if it's going to fit first. I could do it in one. Is his hat going to? No, his hat's not going to fix. His hat is not going to fit. So I might have to do this one on here and wrap it around. That's what I think I'll do. That's what I think I'll do. Okay. I'm going to peel this up. I'm going to come to the bottom again. I want to line it up where I want it, and I'm going to stick the center. When you're working on a round, you want to stick the center, and then I'm going to go one way and then the other way. And this is just an upcycled Starbucks Frappuccino jar. I use these a lot for painting on glass. I use them a lot for bud vases. I love these jars. I love the size of them. These are the larger, I think this is the 13-ounce bottle, not the 9-ounce bottle. I use these all the time. You can buy them if you don't get Starbucks Frappuccinos. You can buy the bottles on Amazon, which sometimes I do, but I mostly recycle them. I have a bunch. I don't really drink these anymore, but honestly, I have a bunch from my previous life when I did drink them. I probably still have a dozen or so more, and I use these bottles often, either for experimenting on painting or actually doing vases or desk organizers, you name it. All right, I'm going to come up. I'm going to start peeling it back slowly. So if anything is lifting, I can see and go back. And there we go. Again, I'm going to use my finger. So how cute and easy are these transfers? It makes me wonder, like, why do I even paint? If I can just grab a pack of these and whip up some transfers, at least then I won't be a painty mess all the time, right? Get another one of these bats because they're cool. And nothing says Halloween better than a bat. And just put it right there. You can actually transfer on a transfer. You can layer these. It won't lift up your original transfer. It'll just layer on. And it doesn't take that much more rubbing pressure to do that. There we go. Again, I'm using my finger, and the heat from my finger just helps set that transfer in place. And we have this one, last but not least, but I don't know what I'm going to put on this guy because things might be a little too tall for him. We might have to skip him. We may have to skip him, I think. So I don't see anything here. These are all too tall for this jar. So maybe I'll come back and do a different project with that jar. I'm certainly going to come back and do a different project with this gorgeous truck. Isn't that cool? I got to get a piece of wood that is big enough to fit this. I'll measure it and figure out where I'm going to put that. So anyway, let me turn you guys around and show you what we did today in really a short amount of time. but my surfaces were painted already. So we added to this board, which was black and then dry brushed with white. We did this cute little gnome with the bats on this candlestick holder. We upcycled this mason jar with the mushrooms. And then we upcycled this frap jar with our gnome and cauldron and the bat. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for my YouTube channel. It was great seeing you guys again. I will be back tomorrow for day 23. Don't forget promo code Stencil Spot for Essential Stencil if you want to grab some of these transfers. I'm not sure if they have Halloween left yet, but I do know they just released their gorgeous Christmas ones, and I'll be grabbing some of them as well. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.